my name is Melanie Nelson, and my husband Doug and myself are #1 best-selling authors of Catch Fire: How to Ignite Your Own Economy. We're also founders of CatchFireUniversity.com, and we've been entrepreneurs, since our early 20s. We've been successful in many different types of businesses and in real estate. And our mission is to really help people reach their own goals, create financial freedom. Now, truth is, there's actually only a few vehicles that can create true financial freedom. And most actually don't have the capital or the time, meaning the money, or the time to be able to really invest, let's say, in real estate or the market or a traditional business or a franchise, which is why many people turn to multi-level marketing and network marketing to achieve their goals. Now, Doug and I have spent years looking at, studying, and learning about the different structures within multi-level marketing industry. And we're going to have a candid conversation about those structures right now. So now multi-level marketing and network marketing, or often referred to as direct sales, offers people, average people, an opportunity to create an above average lifestyle. But the truth is not all companies and compensation plans are created equal. So you should be aware of and know when evaluating these types of businesses to partner with what you're looking at. And so we're going to be talking about those coming up here. But let's talk about some foundational and bare bones necessities and ideas to really know before you're looking to partner. First is the startups. So somebody comes to you and says, you know, this is groundbreaking, it's a new company, it's just starting up, you got to get in the beginning. Now you got to understand that, yeah, that might work out, but it's certainly a very calculated risk that you're taking. In fact, the vast majority of companies that start in this industry will fail within 7 years, either because of management, the compensation plan math, or product being maybe becoming obsolete, or those types of things. And so that is a ginormous risk for me. I'm not comfortable with that calculated risk because that means that's my blood, my sweat, my tears involved, but most important, my integrity. If I'm going to share it with other people, I want to know it's going to be around a while. So startups to anything less than 7 years old is something that I am not comfortable making that risk. You have to decide that for yourself. Now, all products in network marketing are fabulous. Let's not get into a pissing match about whose is better than whose, because the truth is if a company is going to survive in this industry, the products have to be good because they rely on word of mouth. They rely on people talking to people about their results. So the products have to be good. So your products are great, my products are great, their products are great. Let's just all agree, okay? So it is also important that companies adhere to the regulations and laws put forth by governing bodies like Direct Sales Association. So for instance, a business must have customers buying products and services, right? So that just seems like common sense. But in this industry, it can be common to have businesses that don't have a customer base. No customers, no business. Okay, so when evaluating a business, it's a good idea to ask them what their ownership to customer ratio is. Customers should be higher, okay? If they don't have customers and they just have a bunch of owners who came on board to get the product at wholesale, that's what I call a cookie club. Now, could you imagine if McDonald's worked this way? All the McDonald's owners are their own customers, eating their own Big Macs and Happy Meals, and they have no customers. There'd be a lot of McDonald's. There'd be a McDonald's on 2 or 3 on every block. And that's how some of these companies function, and they will not last long if they have complaints lodged against them. Because in order to be a business, you need to have customers serviced by your products and services. This is where you often see companies having an emphasis on sponsoring or bringing on new partners. So the activity is really solely engaged on bringing on new partners. In my opinion, those are the companies you would want to avoid because, again, they're not adhering to those business rules. Now I'm going to go over these common structures here so you know when you're evaluating what you're looking at. Now, all plans, every single plan that I'm going to share with you today pays out on the volume that you personally create and the volume your team or your organization creates. They all pay out on the volume that's being created. Now, most companies also pay out a type of retail profit on the products and services moved to the end consumer. Now, nearly all companies pay out on a 30-day cycle, similar to getting paid monthly at your job or paying the bills monthly at home. Multi-level marketing and direct sales function on a 30-day cycle. So the volume that's created this month, at the end of the month, if you get paid on that volume, you'll get paid on that volume. But it will reset to 0 on the first of the month, whether you got paid on it or not. Most companies operate on that 30-day cycle. So the first compensation plan I'm going to talk about is called Stair Step or Stair Step Breakaway. This is one of the original structures that is in the network marketing industry. In fact, it was invented by Amway. And there's many companies that use this archaic, as I call it, structure. Sunrider, even some new companies are using it, which blows my mind, and you'll know more about that as I go. With Stair Step Breakaway, what you're looking at is typically infinite width. So here's you, and you can sponsor infinitely on your first line in width. So you and all your buddies and your friends and your family members and whoever wants to join you on your team, that's your first line. And then whoever they bring on, that's your second line, right? Now these people and you and them in the levels down below, unfortunately, are all in competition. So if you bring on a bunch of friends and family members, guess what? Even though they all might share the same network, they're all in competition. It's the unfortunate nature of Stair Step Breakaway. Now, what ends up happening compensation plan-wise is that you're getting the greatest percentage paid out on your first line and decreases the percentage as you go down. It's also going to stop paying you usually around 7 levels deep. And the reason for that is because back when Amway started, that's just when the paper ended. Okay, so again, infinite width. Now this benefits you as an owner because you get paid the most on the first line. It also keeps you active every 30 days to create that volume you want to get paid on. It does not encourage building in depth. It just encourages everybody to work their own front line. Okay? Now, again, we might have 10% on the first line, 7% on the second, 5% on the third, and vice versa. Now, if you averaged out many of these different companies that use Stair Step Breakaway, what we found is the average is a 5% payout on all of the volume created in your organization. And that is right? I mean, think about it. If you looked at it from an investment standpoint, is 5% all right? Well, it might be all right today, but it's certainly not going to be all right in maybe a better economy, right? So Breakaway does well when you have a large network, when you have a lot of credibility in your network, and you can keep bringing people on board in your first line. It works really well, and it will pay you immediately because of that. However, if you don't have a large network or you don't have credibility in your network and you don't know a lot of people, this is going to be a very tough one for you to succeed in. And it just depends. Are you looking for money right now, or are you looking for long-term residual income? Because this might create money right now, but it certainly isn't geared towards a long-term residual income. It's designed for the individual person to be the superstar. And unless you have a superstar network, this is a pretty difficult one to succeed in. And I haven't even mentioned the breakaway part. Now, not all stair steps have a breakaway option, but many do. And what I mean by that is, let's say your person right over here is really, really committed, right? And they're creating a large front line and a lot of volume, and they're doing well. What the company does actually is it breaks them away, and you will get a significantly decreased percentage on them and their whole organizational volume because they're doing well. So this structure doesn't actually even encourage you to help others succeed. You kind of want to keep them at a mediocre level so you get the highest percentage return on their efforts. Versus here where somebody does well and they break away. No good. All right, let's move on to forced matrix. Now, I gotta be honest, this is one of the most limited of compensation plans. Meaning that here's you, and you have finite width, and finite depth, meaning that you can actually only bring on a certain amount of people wide, and your structure only goes a limited depth. So what does that end up creating? A matrix. And you only get paid on this matrix. And again, it's going to function in a really similar manner. You're probably going to get the highest percentage on your first level. It will decrease in percentages below, and you'll get 0 credit for anything that happens below that. Okay, so this particular model with finite width and finite depth is probably the most limited of all compensation plans. And it's also, remember, functioning on a 30-day cycle. So what happens in 30 days in your box, it depends on how much you get paid. So this is one I would never, ever choose personally. All right, continuing on to what I call, or what's called binary, or what I call limited binary. Now here you are, and the reason it's called binary because bi is 2, and so you actually only have 2 in width. So you're going to bring on partner number 1 and partner number 2, and you build in depth with 2 teams. Now, this is building in depth for stability. So out of many of the structures out there, this one actually can create the most residual or long-term income. So there's a benefit to that. With a limited binary, what you're still going to see is a decrease of percentages. Let's get rid of that marker. A decrease in percentages in each level again, going down, a decrease in percentages, and oftentimes they still cut it off at a certain level. Okay, now the benefit of this is that you only need to bring on technically 2 partners and help them build 2 teams as well. So you don't need to have an above average network to be able to succeed in a limited binary. However, the cons are that typically your volume has to accrue both on the right and left side of your business in order to get paid on it. So again, this may not create income next month for you, but it will, as you build it, create income long term. However, how limited it is based on the percentage and levels varies from company to company. This also encourages and rewards teamwork, not individual stardom. So if you're not a superstar, it's okay. You could still make a substantial income. So Unilateral is a new structure to the scene. However, it's more of what I call a hybrid, meaning that it could be a combination or fluctuation of any of the structures we just covered. So it could be binary, it could be stair-step, it could be force matrix, or it could be some unique new take on any one of those. But what you can always tell with a unilateral is that they have a huge emphasis on bonus structures, meaning that within a certain time frame, if you do XYZ amount of activity, you get this bonus. And if so many people on your team qualify it too, then you're going to get that bonus. And if you are looking at the compensation plan and seeing bonus after bonus after bonus after bonus based on activity and group volume and things like that, that is typically a unilateral. And again, the pros and cons of this. The pros are if you're a superstar and you're very passionate what you do and you're making it your career and that's what you want to do, then you might do well in a unilateral because you are consistently being active and you might be really supporting and helping other people do the same. Now, if you want a residual long-term income, this is probably not your choice because again, it's based on activity. Now, all of the structures that we covered here have their own variances company to company. So most companies pay out monthly, some pay out weekly. Some have their highest percentages on frontline, that's the most common. And occasionally you'll see a reverse of that, higher percentages on the bottom, lower as you go up to encourage teamwork. However, they're all a variation of the structures I shared with you here today, but we have one more to go. All right, so save the best for last. The one company that Doug and I have researched and found that is unlike any other, really because it can't be lumped into multi-level marketing because of its unique and unmatched structure. And the CEO calls it a binomial. You may not find that in Wikipedia, but it's called a binomial. And it's very similar to binary in the sense that here's you, and you're going to build two teams, one on the right and one on the left. So again, your volume needs to match on either side in order to earn commission. So again, this is a most fair, as I mentioned, for companies and owners to be profitable, as well as encouraging teamwork and not necessarily individual superstardom, right? So what's really unique about the specific binomial that we're talking about is that it pays 100% credit for all of the volume, all of it, to infinity. So there's no decreasing percentages. There's no multiple levels. There's not even a breakaway or essentially a level where it stops. 100% credit for all of the volume that happens below you. So 100% of whatever happens on the right flows up to the right. 100% of whatever happens on the left flows up to the left. There isn't one out there that's like that. Now, as I mentioned, Doug and I's mission is to help people become financially free. And first and foremost, we did it for ourselves. And so we were looking for the highest return on investment. Now, 100% of 100% of 100%, there's no higher return on investment. So that is very unique to this specific company. Now, the other thing that I absolutely appreciated about it is that you're placing your new partners below at the very bottom. Every new partner that comes on board, no matter if they come from this person, this person, this person, this person, or you, they're going at the very bottom. But here's the coolest part. You don't hoard your personal volume that you create through you and your customers like Gollum in Lord of the Rings, right? You're not going to be like, my precious, right? Because in most other companies, that's how it rolls. Your own volume is your own volume. Here, in our binomial, you're placing the volume you create, your happy camper, and you're placing it in the lowest personally sponsored partner that you bring on board. And what that does is it benefits every single person on the way up. Everybody gets 100% credit for what happens below them, but everybody in this company is placing volume as far down as possible to help the team that's helping them. So actually helping people earn income, which is incredible. The other really unique aspect of this business is that there is no 30-day cycle. Zero. Volume in this business accrues for 365 days, meaning that you're not in a 30-day vicious cycle. It's not a matter of if you're going to get paid, it's a matter of when you will get paid. So this sets it up for a long-term residual income that you can will to your children. So super cool. Now, the company is, some of you might be going, yeah, so this is brand new and it's never gonna last. Nuh-uh. The company is 23 years old. It's got a proven system to success. In fact, there's over 400 multi-million-dollar earners in the company, and they're recognizing new ones every 6 months, which is when I looked at it personally and went, holy buckets. Now there's something you don't see in any of the other structures, right? You see people at the top making all the money and instilling a bunch of hope to the people below. Here, new million-dollar earners every 6 months. Something to this, 23 years proven. So no levels, no breakaways, no 30-day structure, 100% to infinity, and you can even create additional income by re-entering below yourself. Not out here or above or somewhere else like some other companies have re-entry options, but they're outside of you. They're in width or they're above you, which is ridiculous because it doesn't benefit your existing business. So you can re-enter below, which is incredible. Now the immediate income in this particular binomial structure is through retail profit and servicing customers. Okay, 6 million customers to 185,000 owners worldwide. Now that's the kind of ratio I like because I've been a creature of business my entire life. So what you may not create is thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars the first month you come on board. But if you follow a proven business system, you're going to create thousands and thousands of dollars on a weekly basis that you can will to your children. So this is also paid out weekly, which if you've had experience in multi-level marketing like I did previously, I got paid monthly. So what really hit me about getting paid weekly is that I could essentially get paid 4 times as much as you in your company that you're getting paid on one time, once a month. So weekly creates a more profitable situation for the owner. Now, not everything is for everybody, right? Not everybody's looking for a long-term strategy. But if you're looking for a long-term strategy that you can create financial freedom with, then you should certainly ask Doug or myself about this, or ask the person who's sharing this video with you about this business, and see if it's a fit for you.